just want to show you another location here. Trapped here for the last 30 some plus years. There's an old minimum maintenance road down that way, an old Quonset, an old grain bin back in the woods that's collapsed over the years, and this is just a skunk magnet. You have a crossing here. It's some old school crossings. The culvert is very, very small. You can see that right there, very small crossing. And you can see where it's probably caved in the middle over the years, tractors, heavy equipment coming through here. This is a skunk magnet. I've caught skunks here for many, many years. Sometimes 2 or 3, 4 or 5, 6, 7 of them living here. To where they get along during the winter months, but during breeding season, they don't get along very well. You see these clumps of grass right there. There's some more over there, smaller ones. And there's a trail going right up here. They use them clumps of grass for bedding inside there in the culvert, for nesting, I call them. And it's just, this is a prime location. I have my cubby right there. I don't do any trail sense up there. And I know this is going to get asked, do you catch raccoons? I do catch raccoons. We don't have very many coons up here in northwestern Minnesota. I don't set up along the rivers where there's a lot of water. That's where the most coon are congregated at. But yeah, that's why I always do, on our killing conibears or anything like that, we have a 72-hour check. But when it's warm out, 80 degrees, things like that, I check these traps every day. Just because I don't want the skunks get green belly just like a fox or coyote. I don't want that to happen. So I check the traps every day on warmer days, and even though we have a 72-hour check, all my traps are checked 48 hours because I just don't like them in there any longer. I like to get them out of there and open up that area for more catches. So yeah, there's just another location. There's my box, 120 bell lisle in there, and bait and lure in the back, and hopefully for more skunks. Here's another location I trap. You can see my cubby right down there. This is a intersection, like I guess if you will, for fox and coyotes. You got a high grade coming up there. You got a ditch coming up there. You got 2 culverts there and a culvert that I am standing on. Everything kind of a pinch point right there. I've already taken 2 skunks out of here, and hopefully for another 1 or 2. They travel these ditches all the time. Don't let anybody tell you that it's too tall of grass, things like that. They're hunting no different than a fox or coyote. I've heard people say like, well, they don't like to get grass in their faces and things like that. Well, how are they ever going to hunt and be afraid of grass and stuff like that? So I don't believe all those tales. So this is just how I do it up here in northwestern Minnesota. Find all these places. Been trapping these places for many, many, many years. Trap the same areas and trap, get skunks every year. So hope this helps. Here's another excellent location. There's my cubby right there, and there's a culvert. Goes way underneath the road here, and there's been skunk scat all over here, trail going up there, skunk tracks going back in that soft sand back in there. So another good spot. That's what I look for. Here's another location. You can see the trail right where my right foot is, going right down here to the culvert. I got a cubby right there, and you can see the trail going up right through that way. And you can see the nesting right there. You can see where the skunks have been going in and out of the hole of the culvert. And here is the trail going up. And I've got a cubby right here, and you can see the faint skunk trail going to sunflowers. Man, if you guys have sunflowers in your area and culverts, they are a skunk magnet. They eat the sunflower seeds. There's mice in there, birds, grubs, everything. They got overhead protection. It's crazy the amount of skunks along here. And here's just a little minimum maintenance road that goes back here. I've trapped this area for 39 years. This is the only spots that I have the only spots that I ever set up high. And what I mean by that, most of mine are right down by the culvert. I have known this landowner since I was a kid. He knows that I've got conibears out here for skunks. You all need to talk to your landowners. Make sure nobody's walking dog. Make sure there's nobody out here, you know, joyriding, things like that. All my condo bears are set back into the cubby too. They're not right on the edge. They're back probably about 5-6 inches. I put a little bit of grass over top, just I think it's for my purpose anyway, just for a little camouflage. But anybody that does this stuff, I mean, you know, we're under a microscope the way it is. As trappers, we're a dying breed. Don't help anybody out to where, like the PETA, things like that. Talk to your landowners. Tell them what you're going to be doing. Tell them, you know, where the areas you're going to be at. You know, just communication, man, is key for anything. So there's another hot location with skunks. Just wait them out. Here's another skunk location. Old broken culvert. You can see the hole in there. There's a whole bunch of grass that they're making their nests. They're going to haul that in there and use it for bedding. There's some more grass that they started balling up for the winter. There's my cubby waiting right there. Another thing I want to tell you guys is, you know, just because you find these locations, you got to wait them out. Just like bobcat trapping, just like mink trapping, you know, they could have probably 5 or 6 places like this in square miles around here. They bump to them each one. Once all these bean fields start coming off, it just scatters them around, brings them back to these spots. Once the sunflowers are off, they just keep bumping them around, and all of a sudden you'll come here and it'll be just start stacking them up. The more and more cover that they start losing out in the fields, they start coming to the cover in the culverts. Well, I hope you can hear me. Here's another wad of grass that they use for their dens, for bedding or whatever they do. You can see the trail that goes down to that culvert down there. I got a cubby right there. But I want to show you something. All these, all around me, are bean fields that have just been harvested the last few days. Sorry if it's kind of windy here. Talking to the landowner, known him for many, many years, they killed a lot of skunks out there in their combine. Skunks just lay out there. They hunt out there. They really have no reason to leave. They got the cover and everything. Once that's all gone, this is when these become very hot, because now this is their protection. This is their home. It's a waiting game. Like I said, I'm gonna beat a dead horse here, but it's a waiting game. They will come back here. That shows that it's an active den. That's the stuff I look for. You know, when I'm out scouting, even areas I've trapped for 39 years, it's not always a guarantee. But just look for these. Like, here comes a drainage right up here. There's a trail right through there. Skunks come all the way up in here. So, hope that helps. Hi everybody. I'm just going to go through some of the equipment that I use. I hope you can hear me. It's really, really windy here. I use 120 bell lisles. Right here. Never had a skunk spray fully. I had them leak, few of them leak once in a great while, but very, very rare. I have that cable to some 11 gauge wire. Stake goes through the back of my little mailbox cubby, right through a hole. That goes all the way into the ground, probably about 3 inches up. I'll wrap the wire around there. Everything will be right here. There's a hammer I have to use, a little claw hammer. Sod buster, I guess, if you will. Here's napkins. That's what I apply my lure to. The only lures I use is anise oil mixed with some water, because anise oil is kind of expensive. So I dilute it with water, and I use liquid smoke with propane glycol. Use liquid smoke with propane glycol in a squirt bottle. The napkin, I wrap it up, or not wrap it up, but put it in a ball, put that back in there with my lure. As far as baits, I bought some commercial baits for skunk. Never really had the best luck. I've had excellent results with Marty Smith's K Creek bait, his bobcat meat base. Here's my anise oil, just a squirt little liquid. Here's my liquid smoke with propane glycol. Here's an old Clorox wipes that I have the little 4-ounce jars in, where I put all my essence. And here I mix some stuff up. I've tried tuna too, but the best bait that I have ever used, there's 2 of them, Marty Smith's, and then I've ground beaver meat. The best. Let it taint a while, put it out in the sun where the flies can't get it, in a container, wrap it up with tape, let it age a little bit, get that good beaver smell. That's what I use. It is such simple trapping. Here are just my This is my skinning rig. Another thing too, once I skin everything on my tailgate, once I get past the hips, I always remove the pods, put them off to the side, drain the essence out when I'm all done. But I never drain the essence out first, because then you have dripping all over the fur. It's just a pain in the butt. Once I get everything skunned down to the hip, I have a little snare deal. I put the 2 back legs in the back here, cinch that tight, and I can pull everything out from here and work it there. Works very slick. Have everything just in a regular little tote right here. I mean, it's simple trapping, everybody. Don't make it complicated. Bait and lure go back there. Lure goes on a piece of toilet paper or a piece of napkin. Simple. Here's another location. Got a skunk here in a 120 bell isle. There's the cubby and these old culverts here. When they took out the crossing culverts, they stacked them all over up here, and I don't know, probably, 20, 30 feet long. And these skunks live in these culverts. Yeah, there's a nice trail that went right up through here, goes right along the culvert, goes back in over there. They got holes dug, and just a great location. Don't overlook these culverts that they've taken out to put new culverts in. Beautiful skunk, October 9th, and we'll reset him and take care of him. October 11th here in northwestern Minnesota, and setting a few coyote traps for good friends of mine that have deer property that coyotes are all over, but you can't pick up a more beautiful skunk here. It's just, they're prime. You know, I use a lot of cubbies, but I actually use a lot of footholds too for canines. Our fox season doesn't start until this Saturday, so I've been just out trapping a few coyotes for good friends and picking up skunks where there's no season here in northwestern Minnesota. Have a great day. Here we got another really nice skunk. Here's my cubby. Culvert there, and a culvert here. Everything kind of intersects, but look at here. They're getting their nesting ready. There's a big ball of grass there, big ball of grass there, and another ball of grass right there. So that's a good indication that there's a lot of skunks coming around here. But beautiful skunk. Look at the beautiful stripes. Here we got another culvert. What I call a culvert that goes into a field. You can see where it's a low dent right there. I'm sure over the years all the tractors maybe even collapsed it a little bit underneath there. This is what I look for. I mean, these here culverts that go into the fields, these small little culverts, I don't know, maybe 10 inches round, maybe a little bit bigger, but it is October 12th. Look at that beautiful stripe right behind the head. No spray, no nothing, dead right there. 120 bell isles. Beaver meat in the back with a little bit of anise oil on a napkin or a little bit of liquid smoke. So have a great day. DPs. I've seen people that trap a lot of raccoons that catch a ton of skunks in DPs. And here's a beautiful skunk right here in a dog proof. So never, and actually both feet too. Not 1 foot, I guess. I thought it was 2 feet in there, but don't ever overlook these DPs for skunks. Here's another skunk at these culverts. Right here, there's my cubby. They live in these long culverts that the county has taken out, or the landowner has taken out their crossings that are going into their farms. October 12th, beautiful, beautiful striped skunk. And there's the cubby right there in the 120 bell isle, and no spraying, no nothing. All good.